Oh, right. Hello, everyone. It's Thomas Jujubi, and I mean, do I need to give an explanation? Kamen Rider Saber has been. I just realized you can't see anything. Kamen Rider Saber has been officially revealed. We had a press conference yesterday. There's been a whole bunch of stuff for it. Um, but the first thing I'm gonna do is really quickly. We got some scans. Like we got a whole bunch of scans, and some of it is for Sentai and Ultraman, and I want to talk about them. But I really want to talk about Saber because I've got to be honest. I've never been this excited for Rider. Like honestly, never been this excited. So I'm going to we're gonna cover all the non Saber stuff in like 10 minutes. Like I'm not even kidding. We're gonna take like right now we're at 2 minutes, like 12 minutes or whenever I start. We should be out with all the non-Saber stuff because I really just want to talk about that. But first, thank you for coming, Dry Bones, Jared Burke, Rainwing, Yu-Gi-Oh, Mako, Merman, hello, Kamari Younger, Mikey, Silvermania, Flying Unipika, Lupin Kaito, Matthias, Pokemon Master, Kamitas, Plasmerix, Level 5 Brave, Gemin J, and there, Muhammad Faiz just joined. Alright, so welcome everyone. We just hit 3 minutes, so let's actually, let's go through this. Alright, so first up, we're going to be talking about Ultraman. Ultraman Z. If you didn't know, I'm watching Ultraman this year. I'm actually really loving it. Also, not sure if you could tell, but the scans I've slightly altered because Televi-kun is suddenly upset about catalog scans. So I'm just to be safe, I've changed the look of them. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, like, literally what you see is, like, on the left is the form we've known about for months already for, what's his name? Zed. And on the right is the new storage bot, which is apparently a remold of King Joe, which is a guy, an old Ultra monster. So that's cool. I'm excited, like, because I really enjoyed Z. Like, these last two episodes where they bring in Juggler and then they bring in Riku, Jeed again, is really cool. Even though, like, I haven't really watched those whole shows, but, like, just kind of the fact that, like, they can so casually bring back older characters is super cool. I love that about Ultraman. That was actually the thing I was scared about getting into Ultraman, and then actually seeing that in Ultraman is amazing. That's actually my favorite part of Ultraman. So, I mean, that's it. It's just a form we've known about, and King Joe, who is from Ultra 7, thank you, Hamza, the brick creator. He's like a remold, as you can, or like a redo of that old guy. And as you can see on the right, he can split apart into parts. So that's cool. I like that. I like when stuff does that. So Kiramager is a little more interesting. Not to say that this isn't interesting. It's just like the only interesting thing of the Ultra scans, in my opinion, or the only new stuff, is just that we got to see King Joe, because that was not revealed before. We've seen Gamma Future for a while now. So Kiramager, we're getting a new mecha arriving, and its name is, I'm not sure if it's Zabu-N, like Zabu-N, or Zabun, but there you go. It's a shark mecha, basically, and as you can see, it's a train. So I think, at least in this state, it's like a remold of Smog Joki, but it doesn't turn into a dinosaur, so it's not as cool. Its main thing, and I think this is what's going to be interesting about the story, is I need to pull this up on screen. So what's its name? Zabune. I'm just gonna say Zabune since that's easier. I'm probably wrong, and when they actually pronounce it in the show, I will pronounce it accordingly. So no one get on my case. So Zabune combining with Machine Express. So that's the little tiny train that formed that combined with Machine Jockey to form Machine Express. Together, they create King Express Zabune. So it's like a new version, like clearly it's a purified version of Machine Express, or of King Express. Sorry, the names are all really similar. So, I saw someone ask, did I miss anything? No, we are going really quickly. We're going through all of the non-Saber stuff so I can spend as much time as possible talking about Saber. So, right now we're on Kiramager. Just went over Ultraman really quickly. So, I mean, we don't really know much about this. We just know there is a new purified Zord that's coming that will combine with the old train to create a newer version of King Express. That's about it. It doesn't seem to be a purified Machine Jockey because it's not a dinosaur anymore, and it seems a little weird. It also has like sea powers now apparently because it's a shark. So that's pretty interesting. And that's it. I mean, the mecha looks cool. This is like the first actual combination we have seen in Kiramager. So I like the helmet. Like, it's a very slight update to the Machine Express helmet, or the King Express helmet, and that's cool. It basically just has the gold and red is more accentuated, and that's it. And it looks, I guess that explains why the head on the first the normal combo was like so loose. I heard it was like really loose on the toy. I don't have the toy, so I can't really confirm. Someone asked, is his arm shooting water? Yes, because he's a shark and water. So, do I like this? No one asked this, but I guess I should say I kind of like this more than the normal King Express, just because it flows together much nicer than the normal King Express. But like Jockey on his own is amazing. So if this means we just get to see more of Machine Jockey as a purple dinosaur, I'm perfectly okay with that, because I really love just that dinosaur mode. And one other thing, this could also tie into Garza's growing power, where he's been able to stop Jockey combining with Machine Express. So maybe he does that and he's on his own, and then they have to find a new one. Patty Murphy said they went from dino to shark just like Samurai. I have no idea if that's a Samurai reference, but I'm gonna consider it as one now. That's actually amazing. So Jockey ties into the last Kiramager scan. There's a bunch more, I should have pointed out, there's a bunch more Ultraman and Kiramager scans, but because it's not the main focus of this, I'm just covering the stuff that's new, because a lot of it is just like review of what we have already seen. But I have the links to everything I'm talking about in this video. It's all in the description. So if you want to see like the normal images, if you want to see it in depth, that's all in the description of this stream/video, depending on how you're watching this. We're almost at 100 viewers. Thank you guys. We're almost at Saber. Just 2 more scans. So this I think, I want to say it's more interesting, but it's not really, because I like the look of Zabune and all that. But the left, Burgermon is back apparently for the next episode. Kirame Yellow gets a hammer. That's pretty cool. Looks like we're going to be going into more depth with Crystalia, because we have the Queen is there, which is literally just a Mabushina costume, but with a weird helmet. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I thought that was Mabushina at first until someone mentioned on Twitter that it's not. It's the Queen, so that's cool. So here with Silver he's turning evil. That's very clear. Probably a what's it called Hebutsukai metal reference from Kyuranger, except this time they just put red eyes on him. At first I was like, I don't know, it's kind of weird, but actually coming back to it right now, I actually think it looks fine. It does really change the helmet up a bit. In my opinion, I think that they pulled a reverse Dino Thunder White Lightning Collection figure, and they painted all the black trim, but they didn't paint the red inside. So this is them painting the red of the visor. If you get that joke, I'm very happy for you. And as you can see, his changer is a recolored premium Bandai, probably, of his normal changer. And it looks cool. I wish it changed the colors of his suit more. But if you look closely, it actually has Joki's head. It had the dino head instead of the drill. So this clearly ties into Garza and Machine Joki in some way. In what way, I don't know. But it's I'm really interested to see how this plays into the story, because we kind of know about what's going on with him and Garza. I mean, we don't. We know there's something there that happened in the past, but we don't know what that is at all. So I'm really interested to see what's coming. I'm pretty sure that plays into the Zabune combination, because he has a Joki changer, and then we're getting rid of Joki in the combo. So I hope they play together somehow. I'm really interested to see how that plays out. I wonder how long it's going to happen anyway, because it's only in one picture, I just realized. So, one more image. We have spent over 10 minutes on the scan, so I failed, but that is completely fine. So, 0-1, final battle. Well, not final battle, I assume, but it's... Oh yeah, someone said Monstone. I think the Monstone I heard plays into it somehow, but he has Joki on his changer, so Garza has to play into it as well, I assume. Or he's just like, here, I have a changer, you wanna have it for me? So, hey, Nato Free in the chat, he said he has to catch up with Sentai. You should. Kiramager's a lot of fun. It's not really too story or like anything driven, but it's just like a lot of fun, really. It's like stupid fun for Sentai, and I like that. But actually, not stupid fun is 0-1. 0-1 is just pretty cool. There's not really much to talk about here. It's just we finally get to see Arc 1 in an image on set. He's fighting Hirobi, which will play into the next episode, I assume, where Hirobi seems to turn to the side of good. So I really like kind of the angle they're going with here, where Arc 1 steals the singularity of his vassals, the Metsubo Jinrai riders, and they slowly start to turn against him, because it's kind of playing into the theme of human gears being people, and Arc 1 can't even see that, and he wants to save human gears. I assume that's going to be like the angle they're going to play up. If not, I think that would be a cool angle to play up. But and 0-2 is there too, and the 0-2 episode was really cool. I haven't watched it subbed yet, but I saw the raw, and it was pretty cool. I really like that. 0-2 I still think is a really cool suit, and I'm really happy it finally debuted after we've known about it for like 2 months. Is the Arc Driver 1 an add-on to the Arc Driver 0, or is it a new driver? It's the same driver. If you look, I can't really show it here, but if you look closely at the normal Arc Driver, there's the right side looking at it, or sorry, the left side looking at it, it's bulkier on the left side. So what's going to happen here is the Azu progress key, which is called the Arc 1 progress key, he's going to insert it into the driver, and it's going to be like what the 0-1 driver does, where the panel flips to the side. The bulk on the left side of the driver is going to flip open and clip onto the other side, and then it's going to basically look like a completely different driver, and it's the Arc 1 driver. So that's really cool. I saw, what do you think about Guy Yamatsu now? I mean, Guy's fine. The redemption, I mean, we kind of needed to see it come. I pretty much saw it coming, right? We all saw it coming. But I think they should have handled it. They could have handled it better, because like they had this the episode in the episode, guy literally goes from like hating heated intelligence to I will literally die with you, Aruto, within the span of like an hour in the show, which is really stupid to me. So I think what they should have done is you have him getting his ass kicked like for like 10 episodes, right? So you have that play into his redemption. Like every time he gets beaten by Naruto, you have him like think like, am I really on the side of good? Am I doing the right thing here? Should I like switch my tactics up? What am I doing? But I do like that all the writers don't like him anymore, and also I feel like you could have had him playing to 0-2, because it's very clearly like the break horn key that opens up by itself. It's the same technology. Like very clearly, it's a remold of that, and I think they should have done that. What do I think about Hasbro and Toei cutting ties rumor? I talked about that in a community post. So like, just scroll down a bit, and I gave my thoughts on that because I don't believe it for now. But it could be true. And if you could see in the bottom left there, you got 0-2, you got a Human Gear Progress key no one cares about, and you got our new kid on the block. It's not transitioning on my screen, but Kamen Rider Saber has been revealed, and I love him a lot. So so the rest of the stream is going to be dedicated to talking about Kamen Rider Saber, and I am so excited for this show. I love this. So here's the first image. We got a lot of scans. We got a lot of stuff to look at. So we gotta jump right into. Like usually I'll only cover like the scans and maybe a few things, but I'm so excited for Saber. Like honestly, I've got like 50 images in here. I'm talking about all of it. So here is the base form. Actually, first I want to let me switch. So here's like an image of Saber. There you go. What happened? So Saturday night, what happened is, or my Saturday night, it may have been different, so I'm just going to say for someone said Saber appreciation stream, not a Saber appreciation stream, a Saber, like, gushing stream, like, not even kidding, like, there you go. So, going my time, Saturday night, we got the reveal of, like, the cover for this magazine, and we got the face of Saber, and then that was pretty much it. We got some, you could just barely see blades and his different forms, and you could also see the other stuff I talked about earlier. And I gotta be honest, at first I didn't really like what I was looking at. Like I didn't really like the helmet. The helmet I still think is my least favorite part, but at first I was like, I don't know, it looks alright. I'm gonna watch it. Like I'm not gonna not watch it. But I was like, it's a little weird. And then the back of the magazine got released, and we got to see the cover. We got to see the driver, and at first I was like, all right, it looks kind of dumb, and that's my piece on it. I'm probably not gonna buy it. It's fine. And then I looked closer, and then I realized that also the books. I was like, books? What the hell? I don't know. I'm like, it's fine. So that was Saturday night, like when it was first revealed. And then I looked just a little closer. And then I noticed the books aren't actual fables and stories. They're fake stories for this season. Reminds you a little something. Let me go grab it. They're literally gas shots. Like, they could have used real stories, and then they went, no, let's make our own stories. And they have all this different art on them, and then I was like, oh my god, like XA2 question mark, or XA3 because 01 is XA2. Haha, got him. But then I was like, starting to grow on. It was starting to grow on me. I was like, wait, the books are like gashats. I don't know. You got me there. And then I noticed that the sword is the driver. like you put the book in, and then there's a handle. You pull the handle, and it's the sword, and it opens the books, and it plays the sounds. And then this was speculation at the time, but then I noticed that like you got the crest on the sword was a different, or it looked detachable. And me and the Discord server, we've been talking about Saber like for 5 days straight. If you want to join, link in the description as well. I was like, please Toei, please make all the riders have different swords, and goddamn, they did that. So like literally at first I was like, I went legitimately from like, I don't know, Saber looks alright, like I'm not hating it, but I'm not really interested, to literally like, okay, I think I'm going to need everything. And then I turned on the wrong image. That's a rip. All right, well, technical difficulties, you guys can't see it all. But then I was like, again, I was like, oh, okay. And then literally 24 hours later, about we got the full magazine scans released, so we got to see all the other stuff I talked about for Ultraman and all that. But the main event, in my opinion, was Saber. So I saw someone mention the Wonder books are based on real books, though. Like I mean, they are based on real books, but I mean like in the sense that they're not, like, it's not a Peter Pan book. It's like the same way Mighty Action X is not Mario. It's like the fake Mario for the show. So that's what I mean. Like that alone, like that kind of builds your world with gimmicks alone, and that is fantastic in my opinion. So here's more pictures of Saber. Now let's skip to present day. I love this suit. The helmet, I have to be honest, the helmet I'm still a little iffy on, because the sword's jutting out of his face is still a little weird, I will admit. And the visor feels like the asymmetry is a little too much for me. Like I like the idea, but like it kind of feels too big, and then it also kind of feels like the asymmetry between the two sides is like too different from each other, and I'm not sure what they're going for. So they should have just picked one and done both. I don't know, just throwing that out there. Also, I forgot to mention, like, at first I was like, really, are we doing half and half riders again? Double, then build, which did a different thing, but now like we're doing basic. It looks like double again. I was like, it's literally Heat Joker. Like, why are we going to do the thing again? More half and half, but it's not half and half. It's O's and double and build, literally on like drugs, and it's much better than all of those in my opinion. But let's not get into that right now. The suit. Now at this point, I love it. Besides the helmet, because it's red and black. Like, they got me there. Like, I don't know. Like, that's how you win me over. You can make it look crap, but if you got red and black in there, god damn it, you got me there. So the sword looks beautiful. I love the half coattail. I'm not sure how much detail I should give without like getting into more stuff, because like I love the belt. Like, cause it's not half and half. I guess I can keep going on about this, but like I already have images and like link up to that, so I kind of need to get to those images. So here's another part of why this is amazing, in my opinion. So, they made a fake language. Like, come on, who does that? That is fantastic. So all the books have a fake language, and like I love that. It's called, I think it's called Rider Moji, and it's like English, but like slightly different. Like it's kind of like a stylized version of English, and then you switch it. So like everything on this, everything has Rider Moji on it. You have the foot has it, and it says Kono Ashi da Rider Kick, I believe, which translates to this foot is a rider kick. It does the Geo thing where the book says kick, or the foot says kick, but it's like to the next level, and it's amazing. I love it. And then the belt says, I think in Rider Emoji it could also just be in Japanese, but it says pull out the holy sword. Come on, because it's like a sheath for the sword. The sword has Rider Emoji on it as well. All the books have like Rider Emoji. Like it says, like his base form is Brave Dragon. I should have pointed that out. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. The base form is Brave Dragon, and it says Brave Dragon, but like underneath the title, it then says Brave Dragon in Rider Emoji. So like, and like you open the book and there's Rider Emoji like all over it, and it's just like, I don't know, it's Saber is like the definition of stupid small gimmicks. And if you have seen a few of my rankings, like stupid small gimmicks, I love stupid small gimmicks, and this is stupid small gimmicks to the max. So people are actually translating the Rider Emoji as well. I can't read that at dark. I can't read that. So, I'll go look it up now because I want to give the guy credit. It is in the description as well. So I can't read it, but some people have been. Here we go. Darkest Argentum. He's translating all this, so be sure to look out for that. Probably by the time we get the toys, we'll be able to speak to each other in Rider Emoji. That's pretty cool, huh? I can't get over it. They literally made their own language for this show. It like in universe, like like stuff like that is why like Ultraman, just a sidetrack, is so cool. Because they do all this world building, and like these small things in Saber, like this fake language, like these fake these fake fairy tales to us, but they're real in the universe. It builds out the world, in my opinion. And I love stuff like that. So Saber, in that aspect, is absolutely amazing. But we also have his forms, and like the idea of storybook gimmicks. Like at first I was like, this is stupid. I hate this. And I have to be honest, like I'm still not like, oh, fairy tales, I'm so excited, as much as like Gashats does, as video games does to me. But like the art on these is so cool. Like so we have Peter Fantasista, and the other one I don't know its name yet, but it's Jack and the Beanstalk. I have better images of them later, but and I'll show some of this stuff I'm talking about better later because I have better videos about it. But the books, there's 3 slots in the books, or in the driver, and there's 3 different kinds of books. So there's mythical creature books, there's just animal story books, and then there's storytale, whatever, fairy tale, I don't know how to speak, those kinds of books. So, and the order I said, you put it in the driver in that order. So what happens is they each have this little picture. On the front, there's a second page that you can open, and then it says a cool little thing about the book, whatever. And then when you open it in the book, or in the belt, they all open up to this other page. So when it's on the rightmost slot, you got the face of the rider, and then the arm. And then in the middle, when you open it up, you got a face of the rider and the arm. And if you put it on the left, right now, all we see is the left arm. But what the effect that gives is, like, with Brave Dragon here, what's his name? Saber, sorry. With Saber, if you put in Brave Dragon, you open it, you got the face of Brave Dragon, and you got his right arm, right? Arm. And if you put Peter Fantasista in the leftmost slot, because that's where you have to put it, when you pull out the sword, which I have, once again, just the fact that, you know, you pull out the sword to Henshin, and the belt has written on it, pull out the holy sword in a fake writing just for the show. Let's ignore that, because that alone is really cool. You pull it open, and all the books open, and now what you have is the image of an arm connecting to the Brave Dragon book, where it has the other arm. I don't know how better I can explain it to you guys. You probably know what I'm talking about. That is amazing to me. I love that so much. Say it with me. It's a stupid small gimmick, and oh my god, it's so cool. It's like I don't know what about it. Like, just the fact it's the pictures line up and you get the form. Like, it's basically like O's and Double and Build, like those mix and match riders, but you don't need to fill out everything. Like, it's basically like, I mean, literally, it's like O's, but sideways. And it's like you only put in Taka and you scan and you get just Taka. Like Kamen Rider O's Taka form. Then you can put in like Taka and Bata and you scan it and you get Kamen Rider O's Taka Bata form. Which sounds pretty cool, I gotta be honest. But then you can put in all three and you get Taka Tora Bata. But then like the books actually have like it makes an image. And that's so cool. Oh my god, I don't know, like I don't know how much better I can explain it. Like, just why I love it so much. Like, it's so cool. And here's the big boy. Kamen Rider Blaze. At first I was saying I liked this guy more because I didn't really like Saber's helmet, but that helmet has grown on me. The red and black already like would always get me, so I'm kind of liking Saber's suit the most now. But this guy is still no slacker. So he uses the Lion Henki driver. I didn't mention, these are called Wonder Ride books, and the belt is called the Sword Driver, one word, where the D's overlap like Deca Driver and 1000 Driver. So I mean, you got hot puns, and that alone really gets me. So he uses Lion Henki or Senki, and it's an animal book, so you put that in the middle slot. So that's why it's Senki. All right, thank you everyone. You put it in the middle slot so that you have the lion on the chest instead of the dragon on the arm, because Saber uses the rightmost slot. So I mean, stupid small gimmicks, am I right? And let's get into more stupid small gimmicks. He uses the same sword, but it's a different handle, a different crest. I think it's what they're called. And it changes the sword, and it will clearly change the sounds. And that's so cool. The last time something like this happened is Gaim, where, if you didn't know, you probably know, but just a refresher. In Gaim, super chat from Jam Cal X, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. He said, the horn blade is like a pen nib. The left and right sides are like hardcovers of a book with the white paper in between. The pen and sword are as one. that is a really cool analysis of everything. There is a novelist aspect. I mean, clearly with the books. So there is definitely like a pen is mightier than the sword thing they're going with. So that's really cool. That's a pretty good look at that on your part. Thank you for the super chat. So as I was saying with the crests, with Gaim, they all for the most part, everyone used the same Zengoku driver. But what they did is they have the faceplate on the left side, and you can pull it out or like remove it, and then you put on another faceplate. So like the Zengoku driver has a standby sound, right? So like if you put in a different, like you have the Gaim one, the faceplate built in, and if you put in a lock seat, it does the right? But then if you put in the Bravo faceplate or similar faceplates, then you got the rock guitar thing. So then it changes the standby, which is and it changes the sword slash, or go figure. It changes the slash sound, and I love, like, it's basically a secondary gimmick. I love that. Like, it's not like, oh, you have to collect all the faceplates, but it's like, hey, if you want to be Bravo, here you go. Or, yeah, Bravo. Here's a Bravo faceplate. If you want to be Baron, here's the Baron faceplate. Like, it's just a stupid small gimmick. And I really love that. And this takes it to the extreme because it's the sword that you pull out of the driver as the main weapon is also a stupid small gimmick because you can change the user of the sword. Oh, man. And someone mentioned also book assets, right? They're book assets. So I see you guys have been mentioning we have Legend Rider books, and we do have Legend Rider books. So they showed off I don't know their names. I'll switch to them in a second, or I'm switching to them now. Actually, very quickly before I get into those, you can see that Saber, sorry, not Saber, Blaze. I didn't mention his names. I'm really stupid, aren't I? So the secondary rider is named Blades. So initially it was translated as Blaze. But as we'll see with the other rider names, they're all the names of swords. So main rider is Saber. We know the tertiary is Espada or Spade. I think it's a Spade, which is like a Spanish sword. There's Caliber. There's Kenzan, where Ken is sword. Just sword normally. So it seems super weird. You have like this naming scheme of all the riders being a sword, and then you have this guy whose name is Blaze. So but the katakana or whatever it is, it says it's Blaze, but that makes no sense in this naming scheme. So it has to be Blades, so Blade with the S at the end. So everyone, there's this whole, if you remember Build, when that was first revealed, it was translated Cross Z, or Cross, however you pronounce it. The name was translated as Clothes, and then it was later translated as Claws, and then later we were like, oh, it's a Cross, and then it's romanized as Cross Z, but you can also pronounce it Cross, and I think they pronounce it Cross, but I say Cross Z sometimes because I'm dumb. So it seems like that case here, except like it has to be Blades, and like a lot of people have been like, oh, we have Blade already. It can't be Blades. It's too confusing because Blade. But like, we have Guy and Gaim. Like, come on. And I think it has to be Blades or something along those lines. Like, it's not Blaze because not only it doesn't fit with the naming scheme, but he's also water powered. He has water powers. You don't name your water powered rider Blaze. So we'll have to wait until like romanizations. Last time we learned it was Cross Z from a pair of underwear. So if there's no pair of underwear this time, then the Soto, I think, usually romanizes them. So we can wait for Soto as well. Someone said, why do I have a feeling since Saber is fire and Blades is likely water, he is water, the other riders will be based on different elements, and they are. And I'll get into those in a second. Moving away from Blades and Saber on their own, we have the Legend Rider books. So these are like fully playing into that gimmick of the books, like in every way possible, and it's amazing. So the Metsubo Jindai book is called Metsubo Jindai Monsters, I think. So it's trying to be like a mythical monster thing, even though the Metsubo Jindai Riders are all normal animals. So then you move to Vulcan and Valkyrie, where they've called it the Ames Animal File, and because they're animals, right? You know, that makes sense. And then I almost said Geo. See, we already have Geo in 01. Blades and Blade is nothing new. Then we have 01, where it's called Hiden's Hiden Story in English. It's something different in Spanish, but Spanish. Okay. Something different in Japanese, sorry. But the name is in English. The pun is universal, as all puns are. It's Hiden's Hidden Story, which is a beautiful pun, and I love that Aruto is a comedian who does puns, and they were like, we're gonna make his book a pun, why the hell not? And he's clearly like a fable story, and it has Izu on it, so there's an incentive for most of you to buy that. And when you put it on the driver, you can't really see it that well, sorry about that, but again, I have all the images in the description, and that's where you can really clearly see the way all the books overlap, and you get this one image of the rider's chest, I guess, and I just love that so much. As I said, it's a little weird because it's Hirobi's right arm, Vulcan is the middle, and 01's the left arm, and that doesn't really help the thing people keep saying where they're like, Vulcan's the main character, and Vulcan's literally the body of this theoretical form. We don't know if it will actually have a form, since they haven't done theoretical forms in a very long time, which is really, really sad. I love those theoretical forms, but there you go. That's that. So that was all Sunday, Monday night, but Saturday, like afternoon, before we even got the announcement that we're getting or any of this, before any of this was announced, we were told that there was going to be a press conference last night. So now we're talking about the press conference. So there's a ton of stuff from the press conference. Like, there was a trailer, and there's like 5 different versions of that trailer. I have the one on YouTube in the link, and I'm gonna play it for you guys in a second. And I mean, most of the trailer shows the same stuff. So here is Kanan BR just subscribed. Thank you. So here we have the pretty badass set of images, if you ask me. So on the right is just a better look of Saber, the actual suit, not in like all this CG stuff. I still think it looks fantastic. I really like the look of that. Oh yeah, someone Brave Level 5 mentioned Saber X01. I'm not sure if that was in reference to the stuff, but they did announce there is a 01 Saber movie that's coming out. So I mean, of course, but I just felt the need to let you all know, because we know they said that's gonna happen. They removed any question if that was happening. So anyway, Saber on the right, already talked about the suit, but I mean, it still looks really cool. And on the left, we got the poster. The poster looks hot, if you ask me. That is, those suits are really good. Like, the suits look so good in my opinion. And I mean, it doesn't help that I absolutely love that driver. I didn't mention this yet, but this is going to be the first driver I buy at launch. I tried to do that with the Jiku driver, but it sold out. And I mean, in retrospect, the Jiku driver is fine. So, but this driver is amazing. I need all these books. I need all these stupid little books. They got me with the art on it, the gimmick of all this. So, someone asked who was behind Blades. So, you have Saber on the front. To the left of Saber is Blades, obviously. To the right is Kamen Rider. This one's a Spade. So, this is Kamen Rider Espade. Or I forget if it's Espada or a Spade. We'll figure it out. It's like Esp something. So, he is lightning based. So, as you can tell with the helmet. So, as you can see with his driver and the sword he's holding, you can see the hilt. It's the same hilt as Saber and Blade's swords. So, he will be using, from the leaks, thank you, Fakri Adi, for subscribing. As you can from the leaks and from what we can tell, he's going to be using the Thunder Crest, and it's going to be the Thunder Sword, and it looks like he's going to be using a left storybook gimmick. So his Wonder Ride book is going to be based on some sort of folk tale, and that's cool. And also, I forgot to mention, so all the swords have different names. So, I almost said Brave. Brave Dragon, I guess, technically. Thank you, Bruno Cardoso, for subscribing. So, Saber's main sword is called I don't know their Japanese names, but his is called, like, the Fire Sword. Blade's is the Water Sword. Espadas, as you guys have told me, thank you for correcting me, so I'm very sure it's Espada. Espadas is like the sword of lightning, and Toku Paradox mentioned it's going to be Aladdin, going off of the leaks from earlier. So then we have these other three riders. So in the back, he's the only other suit, actually, we're going to see. He is the guy in the back is the villain, and he's Kamen Rider Caliber. He uses a completely different driver, which is pretty awesome, but it looks like the same idea as these drivers. And he uses the Jaku Dragon Wonder Ride book. So he's kind of like Genmu from X-Aid, where he used a purple Proto Mighty Action X, and X-Aid used the normal pink Mighty Action X. Now it's kind of different. He's using a different driver, so he doesn't look like an evil Saber, but he is using the Jaku Dragon Wonder Ride book, which is basically a purple evil version of Saber's normal Brave Dragon Wonder Ride book. So that's really cool. So the other two, you can't see it in this picture, but the one on the right is named Kenzan, and the one on the left, I don't think we know its name. I've seen a lot of people saying its name, but we don't know its name, I think. They haven't officially told us. We don't know the actor, but those two will use the same driver. So we already have three drivers at the start, like a certain 01 show. So it, like, the belt, from looking at their belts, it looks really plain. Like, it's literally like the Paradox buckle and a Ride Player buckle. Thank you, Hefty Boy Ethan, for subscribing. It looks like those buckles from those seasons where their main transformation device is not the belt. So supposedly they will just be using swords to transform, which, I mean, like, what'd you expect? The show is called Kamen Rider Saber. Someone was going to use a sword on their own to transform. Looks like it's going to be these two guys, and I'm assuming the belt then is probably going to be a premium Bandai item in a year that plays quotes from them, and they're not going to actually officially release it. Let me know if I'm wrong when that happens. So we only know about the green guy. His name is Kenzan, and some of you have been saying he's a ninja, and he's clearly green. And on the left is we don't know his name or her name, because there supposedly is going to be a female rider, But I mean, supposedly it's going to be there will be a female writer, right? Blades we know is a boy. Saber's a boy. We already know the actors for Kenzan and Espada, and they're not girls. We don't know Caliber. Like, Caliber hasn't spoken yet, and we don't know anything about the other guy. So, or gal. It could be a girl then. So, it's either Caliber, the unknown writer, or it could just be any of the other 4 writers. Thank you, Phineas Reed, for subscribing. Any of the other, like, billion writers, because they did say at the conference, everyone is going to, they're going to have at least 10 writers, or over, sorry, not at least, well, yeah, at least, they're going to have over 10 writers in the show, and it's making my wallet cry, because I'm going to have to buy all of them, because I love this. Again, I mean, I've said this so many times, like, the belt alone, just the idea that the writer's main weapon is the belt, but it comes from pulling the sword out of the belt, and then you change the crest on the sword, so it technically is a different belt. So cool to me. And then you have the mix and match as well. The belt opens up when he pulls out the thing. So, Italian Mouse, thank you for correcting me. I completely forgot. Caliber did speak at the press conference. They had a little fight scene between Saber and Caliber, and Caliber spoke, but he had a voice modulator. If you remember the first, like, 10 or so episodes of X-Aid, every time Genmu spoke, because we didn't know he was who he was, he had this, like, really badass voice modulator, and Caliber is using, like, the same voice modulator. Like, they just brought that back, and I have no quarrel with it. So, I mean, it could still be a girl because of that, because, you know, we don't know who it is. As I've heard from O's, they, or I think Forze, sorry, not O's. Forze or O's, let me know. They had a female villain. They had a man's voice until it was revealed it was a female villain. So, I mean, they could be doing that this year. Who knows? So, let's actually get into the cast. I have it written down over here. I have to pull it over here. Oh, yeah, also, this, as someone mentioned, this is actually the most writers we've had at start. Kind of. Like, technically we don't have anything on, like, we don't, like, the other 3 besides Blades and Saber don't look to have actual suits yet, but I can believe it. Oh, okay. Like, usually on the trailer you only get, like, the starting writers. So X-Aid, we got X-Aid, Brave, Snipe, Laser, and Genmu were on the poster. For Gaim, you had Gaim, Baron, Zangetsu, Ryugen were on the poster, but here we have 6, which beats out X-Aid's 5 riders on the poster. And in addition, we're only starting out with 3. Oh yeah, and 01 had 5 on the poster as well. But technically, we're now starting out with 6 riders. We only have 3, really, because it looks like Espada, Kenzan, and the other one will only... they're coming later, because they're not in the scans. So they're in Caliber as well, technically. So they're coming... I mean, Caliber could... I guess we could still see the others in the first month. Because these scans are technically, like a month early. I don't know how to say it, but... So, here we have the cast. I don't know who's... I mean, I guess I'll let you know who's playing them, but... Kamen Rider Saber, as you can see. Top left, his name is Toma. That's all wait, where is it? Toma Kamiyama. Played by new actor Shuichiro Naito. This is coming from Toku Nation. The link is in the description. Got him. And then on the bottom is Kamen Rider Blades. It is Rintaro Shindo, played by Takaya Yamaguchi. It doesn't say it here, but the friend character girl is named May. That's all I have written down. I don't know the actress's name, sadly, but that's the friend character. She could be the female writer, but who knows? As you can see, oh shoot, the screen hasn't changed. Thank you, Phineas Reed, for letting me know. Sorry about that, guys. Is it going to change? Okay, there we go. So I'll just go through that again. There you go. On the top left is Kamen Rider Saber. It's Toma. On the bottom is Kamen Rider Blaze, Takuya. On the right is not a Kamen Rider. It's Mei, their friend. And she could be a writer, but as we'll see with the next character or the next rider pictures, they put their silhouette of the rider silhouette in the bottom, so it's just a black picture of the rider. And then at the same time, they also just released the poster with all the riders on it. So I don't know what game you're playing, Toei, but it's kind of interesting. That was kind of funny. They're like, ooh, who could these riders be? And then they tell us the names and it's on the poster. So yeah. So I'm interested if that mystery rider, not Caliber, but the black suited rider, if that's going to be one of these characters we're getting from the start, or if it'll be a new character. Only time will tell. I guess now is a good time to say it, because a lot of you are already pointing it out. A lot of you already know. The main writer is Takayuki Shibasaki, and the main writer is, or that's the director, and the main writer is Takaru Fukuda. Those names probably aren't familiar to you. What will be familiar to you is they wrote Kamen Rider Ghost, and in case you didn't know, Ghost is typically the most hated rider season. But if you also didn't know, I haven't seen Ghost, so I have nothing to go off on how good of a show Ghost is, other than either the amount of hate Ghost gets or the amount of defense Ghost gets. So, I mean, this doesn't really, it kind of weakens my excitement a bit, but like, I haven't seen Ghost, so I can't be like, I can't really be like, oh, this show's gonna be garbage, because, you know, I either hear Ghost good, Ghost bad, stop hating Ghost. So, you know, I have nothing to go off of. So here is the other four main characters that they showed off at the press conference. There are some villains I'll get into in a second. So the one on the left, top left, that's Espada, and he is played by Kento Fukamiya, portrayed by Ryo Aoki, and he's childhood friends with Saber, apparently. Top right is Kamen Rider Kenzan. His civilian identity is Ren Akamichi, played by Eiji Togashi, and he views Saber as a rival. So he's the secondary rider, folks. I'm just kidding. It's Blades. Please do not start that argument. The bottom left is Tetsuo, played by Hirowasa Naka. Apparently, he helps maintain the weapons and the vehicles for the riders. The actor himself also said he watched O's in elementary school. So, there you go. And then, the bottom right girl is named Sophia, played by Rina Chinen, who founded the Sword of Logos. And I don't know what that means yet, because I haven't read this story outline, and I'm going to do that in a second. So, that's your cast. Usually, when they reveal the cast, it means nothing to me, because I don't know anything about these people, and I haven't seen the show. So, but I do like $5 super chat from I Am Charismatic. Thank you for the super chat. He says, so if the main character is just using a Saber driver, does that mean his name is Shiro? That's a reference that's gone over my head, so I'm sorry about that, but it's actually called the Sword Driver, so I guess he's not Shiro. So I mean, the cast is not really. I mean, it's there. It's a thing. I do like it's not like I hate anyone, but it's like, you know, all right, there's my main writer. All right, there's his friend who happens to be the main female lead for the season. Oh, there's the secondary writer who looks a lot like the other secondary writers. What is interesting to note is that they have color coded Tetsuo and Sophia, so he's purple and she's yellow. There you go. Oh, purple. You know who else is purple? Caliber. So I think we should get into the trailer now. What do you guys think? And the story. So I have the trailer here. For copyright reasons, I'm not gonna play any audio. All right. So again, if you want to watch the trailer, as I've said, I've got that. It's the Toku Nation link. If you go to Toku Nation at the bottom, they have the same trailer. I'm going to be playing and commentating over. And I'm also going to take a sip of water right now. Okay. So let me get this all set up. What do you guys think of the cast? Everything I've talked about so far. I'm excited. As I said, the suits. I love the suits. I love the gimmicks. I love the other gimmicks that is the sword pulling out of the belt. It's so cool. The sounds are pretty. I'm actually really excited to hear the sounds. I'm gonna listen to the trailer. Actually, all right. First, I'm gonna read the story out to you guys from Toku Nation's site, and then I'm gonna play the trailer during that. There's no subtitles yet, so I mean, I'm just gonna watch it again because I think it's really cool and I love this belt. Also, oh shoot, I should have. Well, actually, okay. There's too many things happening for me, and I want to stop and look at all of it. So you can clearly see there's more rider emoji in the back, in the slots as well. So they just put this thing everywhere. He's gonna as you can see, Brave Dragon. It has rider emoji on it as well, other than just, you know, the English. That's his Brave Dragon. And in the book also has, it's all written in rider emoji as well. The sad thing is that rider emoji will translate to English, but it's more often than not Romanized Japanese. So like, even as an English speaker, you still won't totally be able to understand everything. I just noticed that there's holes in the cover of the book, and I just want to double check how that looks. Okay, that's pretty interesting. All right, so that's the trailer, and I haven't seen what anyone thought of the trailer so far. So what did you guys think of the trailer? I'm gonna put something up right now as a transition. But what do you think of the trailer? What do you think of the story? I'm personally excited for the story, kind of, but just for me personally, I'm more interested in like technological stories, like 01 story of like HUMIGEARS, evil HUMIGEARS, all these robots and stuff. Like, that's more interesting to me, because that's the kind of thing I'm more interested in. So like, my least favorite part so far is the story, and it's not because it's written by the ghost guy. It's just because that's me. That's just how I am. It's not something that inherently excites me, but it still looks cool. I'm still gonna watch the show. Gonna review episode 1. I'm still excited. I'm just more excited for how everything looks and the gimmicks and all that, rather than just the story, because it's not my cup of tea. So, in addition, I usually don't cover this stuff, but again, I'm so excited for the toys, and I forgot to mention this. In the description of this video is a link to Toku Nation's Twitter poll, where they asked if you would buy the Saber driver, the sword driver, if Team Rider imported it. If you don't know who Team Rider is the first official toy distributor for Kamen Rider in the West. They are officially affiliated with Toei. Toei has given them, with Toei and Bandai. Bandai has officially given, they've officially distributed from Bandai complete selection modification belts, the 20th revival, like Deno driver, Buggle driver, the Gamer driver, some model kits already. So like they're official stuff, and it's very possible that we could see them import this stuff, because they weren't even started up when 01 was starting, or they were just starting out, and it's been a year since then. And since then, we got Kamen Rider trending on Twitter. Like, James Gunn said he liked Kamen Rider, which is really cool. And like, they went to Toei and they're like, look, all these people in the West like Kamen Rider. Like, they took all the sales from Heisei Week, where they made all these sales. All the people that were saying all this stuff. So in the description, there's a link to Toku Nation's Twitter poll. I have no idea if it will have any effect on anything, but please just participate in the poll. If you have Twitter, if you don't have Twitter, you can just forget what I'm saying. If you have Twitter, please participate in that poll. The people who work at Toku Nation or have worked with Toku Nation are affiliated with Team Rider, or at least are friends with the people who work at Team Rider, who are in turn affiliated officially with Toei Bandai. So so it's just because I really want this stuff, and we're in a pandemic and shipping's gonna be absolute hell. So here is everything that that's been revealed so far. That's DX. There's the candy toy stuff, which I want to talk about in a second. I don't have a picture though. Also, you guys have mentioned you're not in America and stuff. There's nothing I can do really. What I've heard is that you need to find your Bluefin or Bandai distributor in your country. So like, if you're in the UK, you need to find like the Bluefin distributor of the UK, and you need to ask them if they can get some of the stuff from so if they can import some of the main Bluefin stuff. Like, go to them and be like, yo, can you import myself a Gamer driver? And then maybe they'll do it. But to get it, Team Rider stuff across the world, you kind of have to just go. It's a case by case basis. So but their main focus is America, just Team Rider on its own. So anyway, again, but like, as I was trying to say, actually, even if you're not in America, please help with that poll, because it does help you guys in some way. Like, it is showing Toei, like, look, there are people outside of Japan that like Kamen Rider. Even if it's specifically America they're looking at right now, it is a bridge to showing the world will like it. So so here are the first wave of toys, it looks like. So we have the sword driver, the flame sword, brave dragon Wonder Ride book. Then there's a separate set with the water crest, the Lion Senki Wonder Ride book that comes together. Then there's a separate set with the holders. So the one on the right is for the it's for a Wonder Ride book. You can put one in there. The one on the left, I'm not sure if you can put a Wonder Ride book in there, but I know you can put the sword in there, which is super cool, because the sword activates finishers if you put it back in the belt and then take it out and stuff like that, because that's just super cool. So there's a holster you can just slot the sword into on the left as well, and I'm assuming there's a set of either the holsters and then the crest, and I'm just a little curious, which one should I get? I think I would get the holder set, just because that makes more sense to me, because Lion Senki is kind of its own separate thing. And then there's Peter Fantasista, which is Peter Pan, but you know they wanted to get a little sneaky with you and pull a Gashat reference, which I have absolutely no problem with this. So I don't have any links to the toys, but like you can find it pretty easily. So I'm really excited for this stuff. I want all of it. Like initially, when the Saber stuff got leaked, I was like the names of everything, not the visuals. I was like, okay, all right, fairy tales, crests, not my cup of tea. I can rest easy. I can sit this one out. And then they were like, no, they're Gashats basically. I was gonna say something about them, but I have a trailer here of the toy because I love it and I want it and it's amazing to me. And there's some pretty cool visuals of it, so I'm gonna get that on screen. Same thing as before. The trailer, there's not going to be any visuals to it, or it is all visuals. There's no sound to it. So sorry you can't hear the gimmicks or the sounds. I just, copyright all that. But it is in the description. You've heard me say this a bunch. That's in the description. And it's in all caps as well. It says Saber driver commercial. So I'm actually going to listen to this one because I just want to hear everything again. Because I love it all. So, whoa, look, it's the belt. Whoa, look, it's the book. And then it opens and it says, this is a book. And it does book things. I like that little gimmick. You can put it in, and you pull it out of the book opens. And the sounds are really cool. I love the Brave Dragon sound. The announcement sounds are really cool. The thing after is alright. I'm not sure how I feel about it. And then look, you can put 3 books in there. And then you can look. There's more books. Ooh, more books. So I'm going to pause here in a second. So here's, like, the whole gimmick of the driver. So, like, which is, I don't know, man. This is really cool. So, the right side books will show the face of the driver and the right arm. And then the books on the left have the arm. So you kind of get this, like, there's still a gap in the middle, but you've got this effect of Saber, and now he's got another arm. And as they'll add the other book we already know, it'll be a different arm. So it's, like, not, like, the half and half gimmick, because there's, like, this gap in the middle as well, and I just love that. Like, it is the half and half gimmick, but, like, it's got a twist to it, and that's what I like about it. It's not just, like, Build had a twist to it as well. That's not to say, like, Build was just a double clone. But, Build there's no way to say this without trashing on Build, and I do really love the Build suits. So, we'll just say Saber does half and half the most unique way out of our 2 half and half forms, to the point where it's not even half and half. It's more akin to O's, and even then it's more unique than O's, and I love it. And I just noticed, looking at these, all the books have these 3 bars on the bottom. And it says, well, I don't know what it says, but the Brave Dragon bar is highlighted on the left, and the Jakun bar is highlighted all the way on the right, which obviously shows, hey, you put this one on the right, you put this one on the left. I'm assuming the lion will have one in the middle. And can I translate this rider emoji? I'm going to try. I think it says Kamen. I think it just says Kamen Rider. It looks like it just says Kamen Rider, which is kind of cool. All right. And then here's Brave Dragon. I think it's Brave Dragon Jakun, correct? Someone let me know if I'm wrong. Also of note, in this moment, and it's also in the trailer as well, when I don't know if this is exclusive to because it sounds like a generic sound. I'm not sure if it's exclusive to Jakun or if this is like a generic sound, but it says like something akin to Wonder Rider, and it sounds amazing. I don't know what it is about that sound. The belt sounds really cool as well. So I as I said earlier, this whole stream is just me. There's this thing in Saber. It's kind of stupid, but I kind of love it a little too much. And it's also kind of interesting that this is the only suit so far that affects the horn. But it not really, because it's just like a wire around it. Also, it looks like they're continuing RKFs this year, and there's no mix and match gimmick, which I'm a little sad about, but I'm also a little happy because I think I would have needed those as well, and that's too much money to spend. Hopefully Soto doesn't do that, because then I might need that. And I mean, they didn't do mix and match for 0-1, so let's hope that continues. And then here's probably the best demonstration of that whole gimmick. So on the right, you can only see Saber's hand now. You have what's his name, Blade's his chest, and then you got the Jakun arm. And I think what's really, and just rider emoji everywhere. I love it. I think it's really interesting that Saber is like, just like, let's pretend they'll do like a Trinity form, like the 3 riders that use the Saber, the sword driver. You put their books in, you open it. Saber isn't the middle; he's an arm. His, like, I don't know. That's interesting, because like, obviously it would be like, well, he's the main rider. He's going to see, right? Like, he's the main rider. He's going to be the the middle of the Trinity form, like Geo, but he's not. And I don't know. I mean, maybe that means they're not going to do like a Trinity-esque form. But I still think it's really cool, just this whole idea. And they don't actually show the form this will create, so. And then here, I was watching this trailer. Here's where I lost my mind, because I thought the crests would just be like a button push, and I was like, all right, then we'll have a set amount of crests. But you scan the crest on the sword, and then that changes the whole sword to the water sword, and it'll play different sounds, clearly, because there's lights and it made sounds. Oh my god, I love it. The scanning is super cool as well, like as if it wasn't kind of more O's than double already. It scans it, which leads, well, it does scan the books as well. There's a picture where you have Brave Dragon, and it scans you can put Brave Dragon to the sword, and it says it makes sounds, but I don't know what it does. I really want to know how this belt works, not in the sense of like mechanically, because I already get that and I already love it, but I mean like I want to know where the sounds come from, because we know the Wonder Rider books, they make sounds. We've seen that. I mean, you can see it in this trailer, but I want to know, like, what sounds do the sword make? What sounds do the books make? How do they mix and match? What happens if I put the red crest, the fire crest, on the sword, so it's the fire sword, but I put it in the Blaze book, and then I open it up. I want to know so much about this, and it's super funny because it's a book season, and knowledge and stuff. So here's the Blades henshin. Here's a beautiful picture of Blades. I love that suit. The helmet is absolutely amazing. I love that helmet. If that was Saber's helmet, I'd put him in like maybe my favorite base form suit. Like, I'm not even kidding. I love that helmet. And the colors are also cool, but I like red more because I'm not that original. And then they're like, look, buy our toys. And then there's just a cool, actually, of note, rider emojis like cycling in the back. And also, it's called the Seiken sword driver. I already pointed that out, but Seiken means like holy sword, I think. Yeah, because Ken is sword, so Seiken is holy sword. So it's the holy sword driver, basically, which is pretty cool. Because the rider emoji says, pull out the holy sword, woo! And then here's just like, look how cool the Saber suit looks. Look, toys, buy them, and then that's it. And that's everything. Those are all the pictures I have. So I'm saying this like it's over. I'm probably gonna go for like 10-15 more minutes. I just want to talk with you guys about Saber more, because I just think this looks so cool. I'm so excited for this season. In regards to the visuals, the show's alright. It's just not something I'm initially excited for. But I'm really excited for the toy line. I'm going to try to buy everything I can with this toy line. Probably everything that's a normal release. So, yeah, please, Team Rider, probably not watching this, but please import these. We will buy them. They said, it'll be like about a month after it's actually released in Japan, then you'll get it. I don't care. I'll wait like 6 months if I can buy everything with like cheap shipping in America. I'll do it. Megadon asked, doesn't the sword for Saber have an actual name? It does. I think I have it over here. I can go grab that for you. It's called the Sword of Fire Rekka. And when you pull it out, it says like Rekka something. So they're all like the same sword basically, but they have the different crest. So it's a different it's going to be perceived as a different book, or different sword, sorry. Thomas Jujube's Bizarre Adventure Wonder Ride book. What do I like more, 01 base form or Saber base form? Saber base form, just because the colors alone are absolutely amazing on Saber. It's red and black, so I'm more intrigued. I like it more. Honestly, this feels like a kid-friendly general audience version of Garo. That's true. I mean, a lot of people have made Armor Hero. There's a lot of comparisons with this. They're saying it looks like Legend Hero, Armor Hero, those kinds of shows. Garo, as you said, and that's just outside of Rider. It's been compared to Ryu Soldier, and if you didn't know, I love Ryu Soldier, so they got me there too. God damn it, Toei. To me, Saber does not feel like Rider. It feels like a new Toku that's not Rider. I mean, he uses a belt, so it kind of feels like Rider alone. Someone likes 01 better. That's fine. I was just voicing my opinion. I like Saber more, but I'm not saying Saber is definitively better. I think I was gonna say objectively. Of course, with keeping in mind there is no objectivity in the world. Objectively, I think 01 is like simpler design and better maybe in that aspect. But I like Saber more. Someone said, there we go. I don't think there's been a Kamen Rider that won me over this hard. I completely agree. Suit-wise, this is literally the most excited I've ever been for a Rider season. Suit-wise, story-wise, sorta, but story-wise, kind of, I guess, but suit-wise and, like, aesthetically with the driver, the books, this is the most excited I've been for Rider, and that is including X-Aid. I'm more excited than I was for X-Aid. Keep in mind that when X-Aid was coming out, like, I hadn't seen X-Aid, so I couldn't say it was my favorite show yet, and there wasn't Uteki yet, so, yeah, there's there, too. That, too. Is the schedule going to be the same as 01 every Saturday? I mean, they have no reason to change the schedule. That is how most shows work, airing every year. Or, yeah, every week. I saw this question. How do I feel about Heisei Generations Forever official subs releases on Saturday? That's awesome. I've already seen it twice, once for the review and then another with the live airing, but that was a lot of fun, so I'm excited that that's getting officially released on Shout and all that as well. Thomas Jujubee, did you notice the slots on the top behind the book holsters similar to where the hazard trigger went on the build driver? I did not notice that. I'm going to go check it out. Just wanted to point out, someone said rip wallet. I'm right there with you. Especially during a pandemic where shipping to the US is already absolutely destroyed. Because I don't mean to sound rude or anything, so please just keep that in mind, but it's shipping from Japan is more expensive than it was before. But why is it more expensive to ship something from Japan? Shouldn't it be like we just can't ship anything to them? Like, why is it more expensive to ship to America if it's just like a drop and go with the package? I don't know. So I'm looking at the sword driver, looking for that slot. There's no picture where I can really see it. I don't really see a slot at all. Granted, I don't think I really saw. You can't really see it on the build driver until you actually hold it. So, I don't know. I'm also okay. So it looks like when you scan the Brave Dragon book, it just activates more sounds in the sword, and then it gives the book a different sound when you insert it. So it doesn't actually, it's not factoring into the transformation at all, but that's pretty cool. Looking at this, apparently the sword makes sounds when you holster it. I mean, this is what happens when you make the sword literally the driver. It does everything. So yeah, I can't see the trigger thing. If someone could point that out to me, then maybe, but I can't see it, but that's fine. Where did I find that image on the right of the screen? On Twitter. So, I hope they do forums based on real books. They might, like the X-Aid. They did that whole promotion with Bandai Namco where they did Pac-Man, Famista, Xevious, and Galaxian as gashats based on real world games. So it's certainly a possibility. His red side reminds me of a Digimon. Yeah, I've seen that. It looks like I've seen it pointed out to look like Shoutmon and that other red guy that I don't know his name at all. But yeah, if you know Digimon, you know who I'm talking about, because I don't watch Digimon. I've watched Digimon though, just throwing that out there. Isn't there a screenshot of all the other books from the trailer? Yeah, I was looking at that earlier when I was looking at the trailer. It's easier to see it in the trailer when there's a close-up. Okay, maybe I'll do that in a second. Do I have a link to that on Twitter? I assume that was to the image. I'm on the right. I don't. I could try to look for it. I think I retweeted it. So if you just go to my Twitter page. Yeah, I retweeted it. So if you want to look at it, it's a few tweets down on my page, and then you can copy that. Because I don't know where it came from, but I think the official Saber account may have posted as well. Let me check. No, it does not look like the official Saber posted that image, but I retweeted it on my page. So, Gulmon. That's the name of the guy. Thank you guys. There you go. See, I knew you guys knew who I was talking about. Weird question. Who wants to watch Kamen Rider on a video now? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I'm always down to watch Kamen Rider in a video. I hope they will show a form for Blades. I mean, let's just go with like every other Rider season. Yeah, he's probably gonna get a form. It kind of seems like they might be doing what XA did, where the Rider forms, like everyone only gets like 1 or 2 Rider forms, or like separate upgrade forms, other than like, now I have my final form. Like, like everyone got the level 3, and then later they got Hunter. So like right now we're not seeing anything for or for Blades, but later we'll probably see something for Blades. Like in the trailer, we don't even get to see the Fantasista form for Saber. We only saw that in the scans. So imagine a Harry Potter Wonder Ride book. Would that go under? That would go under the left side, wouldn't it? I feel like there's. I mean, we already know there's more left side books than the other one, so that's kind of interesting. I mean, because that's the only form that works for Saber. There you go. I was like, it's kind of interesting, but I don't know how that plays into anything. Oh, because if you do the middle book, his face completely changes. That's probably going to be the upgrade form. He just gets his own book, or a middle book. Is there official Kamen Rider Twitter besides the individual shows accounts? I mean, Toei has an official Twitter. Televi-kun has an official Twitter, as we all found out. I mean, there's official members of the shows that have their own Twitters, like the producers have their own Twitter. The characters, the people, I mean, have their own Twitter. So, I mean, there's a lot of Twitter accounts for Rider. The true villain is Audible. Kamen Rider Audible. Dun. Any thoughts on what they could do for a final form? I mean, not really. I'm gonna guess it's just gonna be Brave Dragon 2 Electric Boogaloo. But it can't be Electric Boogaloo because Ikazuchi has... Sorry, not Ikazuchi. His sword is the Ikazuchi sword. So that's where that came from. But his... I don't know. There's a... Like, my favorite part of this is there's a lot they could do with the final form. Like, his final form could be 3 books in, like a big book that goes in the middle and opens up at, like, the same time. Could be just a different sword in the driver with, like, a new Brave Dragon book. Could be a different crest with, like, a new book. Like, there's so much they could do for just, like, different riders, different forms. And I love that. It's so cool. This is, like, my 5th time saying that. Thoughts on the Trinity 2 fiasco. Not as funny as the whole Trinity thing. Not as bad, possibly, as well. If you guys didn't know, Televi-kun is a little upset about the magazine scans, and someone replied, "Hey, look, it's the magazine scan you don't want us to look at. Haha, lol, got him." That's basically what they said. So, please don't be an asshole like that on Twitter. Pop-up book final form, I like that. I saw some mentions of what, like, the Legend Rider books should be for different riders, like, like, Geo, they've got to make a Woz book. Like, come on, you don't make the Geo Wonder Ride book not the Woz book, the Oh My Calendar. Like, at least make that one, and you can make a separate Geo mythical creature book, but you gotta make the Oh My Calendar. And then someone in Discord said this, someone here mentioned this out. What if the final form is like Mighty Novel X? Honestly, I mean, possibly. I don't know to what extent you mean, but, like, if they gotta make Mighty Novel X the X-Aid Wonder Ride book, Legend Wonder Ride book, like, like, come on, it's right there, Mighty Novel X, just make that the book. Maybe the final form will look like X-Aid, then I'm in trouble. It could also be something like the Bible. There's that. First upgrade would probably be him getting a second sword. That's true. It looks kind of like Kenzan has a second sword as well in some images, though. So there's that. I saw something. Do you know about Metal Heroes? I do know about Metal Heroes. Okay, here's an idea. You know how the pages fell out of that main book? Perhaps they could, like, restore that book, and it gives the power, like, the power of all the pages. That actually sounds pretty likely. Like, I'm sure A-Form at some point will probably be like, we got all the books, we're gonna put it together, it's the book, it's the new form, and I mean, this is probably maybe going to be the final form. Then it has the power of all the books, and it's like Gaim, where it plays the sounds of all those. Just an idea. Who mentioned that at first? Dr. Joe. That's a good idea. I hope the villain's henshin belt Forsaken Sword Driver, like Forsaken due to him becoming evil and betraying his allies. That could be interesting. Someone said, Jujubee gonna freak out if they have an X-Aid ride book. I mean, judging by how a 01 ride book exists, I will freak out. I mean, at this point, like, they're always gonna do X-Aid books, so, or X-Aid gimmicks, so. What I'm really interested in is if all the Legend ride books will be, like, a set of 3. I don't think they will, to be honest, because the 01 book is this weird promotional item right now. Because some people can enter a lottery and they'll get the Sword Driver. I forget if it's free or if, like, you have to pay for it, but you get it early. At the very least, you get it early, and it comes with the 01 book, which is a deluxe book, and then the Ames and Metsubo Jinrai book will be released in the first Candy Toy wave, and Candy Toys. So I wonder if that could just be because it's the most recent rider. Like, we'll just make 2 Gashapon versions of the books to go with 01 as a deluxe book, and then they could later make. Then all the other riders could just be getting deluxe, only singular deluxe books. I don't know. That's just interesting. Because if they make 3 for every rider, that's like 60 books. That's a little much. I think that's the amount of full bottles Build had. So I don't think they're gonna do 3 books. We could see for everyone. I think Geo could possibly get 3 books. Decade could get 3 books. They will like certain characters or seasons might get 3 books, but I don't think everyone will get 3 books. What is Saber holding in his right hand? Nothing. That's his hand. The double Legend ride book better be 2 separate Wonder Rider books for the purple and green aesthetic. Like, there is something where, like, you know, you do multiple books. That would be good. That would be awesome, actually. Bandai won't let go of Heisei. Well, there's 20 of them. That's a lot of toys you can sell. So, I mean, I'm kind of, like, upset that they're. I mean, not upset. I said it like I'm, like, super angry, but, like, no, I find it weird that, like, they're still doing Heisei gimmicks. Because, I mean, it's Reiwa, but, like, at a certain point, they probably will stop doing Heisei gimmicks. Like, they've stopped doing Showa gimmicks now. And probably by the time we get to, like, Decade Reiwa, whatever they're going to call that, maybe they'll stop doing the Heisei gimmicks. Or at least maybe only go back to Decade. And then once they get to their version of Geo, maybe they'll stop doing all of them. Or all the Heisei. So, I mean, it's probably going to be a gradual process. They're not, because Reiwa is not, like, Showa to Heisei, where there's, like, 10 years where they didn't make anything. The changes will be more gradual. I mean, like, 01 is already kind of like the Heisei explosion, I guess, in a way, where they have 10 drivers, and here now we're going to have 10 riders, and, like, hella belts that are awesome. Now, there's an idea. Do you think there'll be Showa because it's the 50th anniversary? Now, next year, we could get Showa gimmicks again for the 50th anniversary. It's the 50th, so, like, you know, I expect that, so... Imagine Saber surpassing Build's number of forms. I don't. He could, because of the mix and match capabilities, but not in the sense of, like, all the gimmicks. Because Build had 60 gimmicks. So Kamen Rider Saber is just Bionicle 3. Change my mind. I won't, because that's pretty good. I've seen that meme. Yeah. Saber should get a book that is the double manga and that can have a Fang trigger form, considering that was only shown in the double manga. That would be really cool. That's like, there's too much thought you put into that, so it's probably not going to happen from Toei and Bandai. But that's actually a really good idea. Thoughts on the 01 movies getting pushed? I expected it. I'm really interested in how that will play into the story, because I assume the story of the movie already was like pretty laid out, but it would have taken place during the show. So now I'm curious if they're going to make it so that the movie is like a V-Cinema thing. Like now it's going to be a post-ending, because I think it's going to come out during Saber. So I'm interested in that. I just remember I probably should check out that cutout people were mentioning in the driver, so I'm going to go do that. Where is the henshin? Here we go. Okay. So, let's see. Is there a hazard trigger thing for the Seikun sword driver? We'll probably find out when the toy comes out anyway. But, yeah. I mean, I still don't see it. If anything, I have less of a reason to believe that there is a slot there. Like, it looks filled in. So, like, I have confidence you guys saw something, some sort of cutout. So, like, I mean, maybe just, like, if you can, like, highlight it and then just, like, at me on Twitter or in our Discord server, then let me know. But I can't really see the cutout at all. So, what if we get an All Dragon Wonder Ride book, Agito Ryuki Wizard Cross? That would be really cool. Can I name the Axe Rider? I can't. I don't know what his name is. Everyone is saying, as people are pointing out, Buki has been the speculation of its name, but like some people are saying it's confirmed, and it's not, because they would have said it. How do I think another Saber would look? There's some art people have been doing of another Saber, so that's what I think it would look like. Some sort of bookmarker to add onto the belt. That would be fun. That would be amazing. That would be so fun. I hope that's true. If that is the slot that I can't see because I'm stupid, that would be hilarious. I would love that. What are my thoughts on Power Rangers Unworthy? That is the fan film that has like the cool looking Red Ranger that's like combined with the Gold Ranger, right? If so, then that suit looks really cool. If not, then that suit still looks really cool, but then I've never heard of it. So apparently the wiki says that it's Kamen Rider Buki, but the wiki is a fan site, and it has not been officially stated that his name is Kamen Rider Buki. So for now, he is Turtle Man? Turtle Rider? Is that what we're calling him? He's the Turtle Rider. There you go. The rider in the top left corner, the Turtle Rider, you mean, looks really cool, and his body reminds me of Punching Kong. I can see that. Yeah, he's like a chunky boy. Ooh, rider potential. There you go. I can say chunky boy. We did it. King Arthur Wonder Ride book. It's probably going to happen. Speculated to be the final form. Masked Rider or Power Rider. Power Rider, but I don't really like either of those names. So I'm gonna wrap up soon. We're almost at 2 hours, so Caliber should get a power-up called Excalibur. Oh man, I mean that kind of ties into the cresting, but that would be really cool if the sword got like a full upgrade as opposed to like a new crest. That would be really cool. But then it wouldn't fit on the driver anyway. Someone mentioned hope the secondary rider is friendly and helpful to Saber and not a rival or secret villain. Going off of the trailer, how they seem pretty buddy in the trailer before he becomes Blades, I'm assuming they're gonna be friends. I think there was something about Blades being his like senior, his like mentor, so it seems like they're not going to be rivals, and that's really cool. Maybe his upgraded form will be like Caliber, but recolored and slightly different. I could see that. I swear if they put the secondary rider as the final boss, like in Gaim. Have I read the Power Rangers comics? I love the Power Rangers comics. I have. That's my favorite piece of Power Rangers media. What do I think they will stick? Do I think they will stick with swords only? Yeah, I think they will, just because it seems like, like his name is Saber. His name is Blades. His name is Espada, which is a type of sword. His name is Kenzan, which means sword. His name is Caliber, which is another kind of sword. They're all named after kinds of swords. I think they're sticking to swords, and that's pretty cool because I like swords over other stuff. So, they're handshaking. Blades and Saber are like handshaking in all the scans. So, yeah. Who's my favorite Saber design so far? Saber himself, honestly, I think at this point. I really love the colors, the dragon, the helmet, but I still really like it. But Blades maybe is like second, or at least tied with him. It's just I like the Saber color scheme better, and I think that puts it over the edge for me. So we also we have 84 people watching now. We had like 160 people earlier. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. Just literally losing my mind over what most people are hating on as a season, which is totally fine. You're allowed to hate on a season. That is how the world works. But I just really love Saber. I'm really excited for this. I don't hate 01 by any stretch of the imagination, but like, especially suit-wise, I actually love 01 suit-wise, but like, just Saber's filled of like literally stupid small gimmicks, and I love all of it. This is just so cool. I'm so excited for that toy and all the toys. It just, toy line wise, this looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Kamen Rider Hot Knife. There you go. That's the final form. Think we'll get some headbutt attacks this season? I mean, we probably have to, right? Because his face is a blade. Have I caught up with 01? What are my thoughts on 02? And how do I think Saber and 01 will be able to collaborate in a movie? They will probably just show up in the same world. Actually, it could play into the books. The books could be how they get there. We don't know how the books exactly work, but it could be like, we'll go into the world of Hiden's Hiden story, and it's the world of 01. 02 looks really cool. It's a really cool form. I really like its episode debut. Its fight debut is really cool. Its insert is really cool. 02 is really cool, but Saber is cooler. Anyway, in my opinion. And I don't care about if the Ghost Rider is doing it. I know I mentioned that earlier, but like, because I haven't seen Ghost, I have nothing to base it on. Like, I mean, all I know of Ghost is that he was pretty cool in the X-Aid movie, and he gave us X-Aid kind of, sort of. So, I can't really. Right now, I can't fault Ghost for anything Ghost has done, because I can't, literally. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it. So thank you guys for coming out to the stream. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys are liking Saber as much as I am. If you want to talk more with me about Saber, as I mentioned in the description, I've got a link to my Twitter. I've been talking about Saber a ton. You can @ me on Twitter to ask me what do I think of Saber or anything in general. I will respond to you, hopefully. Or you could just reply to a thing, to a tweet of mine. Then I also have my Discord server down there. I'm very active on my Discord server. We have been talking about 01 and Saber. Sorry, I meant Saber. We have been talking about Saber for literally 5 days straight, and a lot of the people in the Discord server are loving Saber as much as I am, so we're going to be talking about Saber for a long time before that show even comes out. And then below that, I've got the Team Rider, or sorry, not the Team Rider poll, but it's the Toku Nation poll. please vote in the Token Nation poll if you have Twitter. It may or may not help with getting the Saber stuff distributed to the West, which would be absolutely amazing. That would honestly be a dream come true. Like, there's no other way of putting it. And then below that is links to all the stuff I've talked about. They're also all on my Twitter because I've been retweeting them all week. And that's that. So next time I see you guys, this Friday is Rider Potential Kuga, finally, at long last. So be sure on the lookout for that. The Monday after that, so next Monday, will be a Kamen Rider Craft video from the last stream. Sometime after that, maybe another Kamen Rider Craft stream. I've got some stuff planned that I want to do in that series. And then 01 review will be coming out soon after it ends, obviously. Then after that will be my review of Saber Episode 1. And then sometime around that, I don't have a schedule for when this one's coming out, but I will be doing Rider Potential 01. That's going to be the first Rider Potential for a live, just finished season, so it's going to be a little different than what we're usually used to with Rider Potential. So if you're interested in any of that, please consider subscribing. I'm really close to 15,000 subscribers. I'd love to hit 15,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That would be amazing. But if not, that's fine. But that's everything. So thank you guys so much for coming to the stream again. I had a lot of fun talking with you guys about Saber. I just had a lot of fun talking about Saber in general, and I'm really happy you guys just enjoyed listening to me talk about this really crazy looking rider and this really awesome looking rider. Super excited for this. And yeah, so thank you for watching, and I hope to see